Welcome to the show, Matt Cook. After studying law, you spent several years working office jobs while performing music on the side. And in 2008, following the financial crash, you made the leap into music full time, appearing on the US TV show Do I Have a Hit Song with your track Letting Go. This led to a life-changing connection with Ronnie Swift Laurie, one of the friends of the show, actually, in 2015. And you've since been able to collaborate with artists like Jethro Sheeran and performed at London Fashion Week. You began working with Help for Heroes and the Veteran Support Association, who've adopted Still Worth Fighting for their official song. There's a ton of stuff to talk about with you, Matt. Thank you so much for joining us on the show, and please do tell us more.
Yeah, thank you for having me. My God, reading all of that back to me in just 30 seconds, 45 seconds. I feel like, have you seen the end of Armageddon with Bruce Willis where they flash his whole life? And he's like, oh my God.
A brief synopsis.
When you said that, then I don't think I could keep up myself. There were so many things. God, where do we start? So we started with law. God, I was the sort of guy that was studying law in the daytime, and I always tell people that you can't really enjoy law. The thing that puts you off law is studying for law, and I was doing that, and all I was doing was looking forward to playing the open mics in the nights. Used to, who wants to read like a 300-page textbook when you could be playing with your guitar,
Yeah.
So that's what happened to me. I ended up going full-time into the music after the financial crash. My boss, I used to work in a state agency software, and my boss, I think he was holding me personally responsible for the 2008 financial crash. I don't think it was me, but I'm sure he's got some good arguments against me, put it that way. And then there's nothing like finding out you've suddenly got another 8, 9, 10 hours a day to work on your music. That really helps you focus. And, they until they make pot noodles free, then I'm going to have to do something for money, So that's where we got to. That's where we got to with that. And then, so I haven't really looked back, did a lot of different bits and pieces. But for me, I think I did the Paralympic opening ceremony. That was cool in 2012. Got to meet a lot of cool people there. And then around 2015, you mentioned Ronnie got in touch. There's a story about that. I was running these Facebook adverts for my song Letting Go, and Letting Go is a song I went over to the States to write and record it. And Ronnie, she ended up answering one of my adverts, and the advert was basically like, oh, hey, check out this song. Do you like this music? And she came to me like immediately. Yeah, I really like the song. But what happened was it goes straight into. I will ask you this in good faith. Did you know that Facebook has in Messenger they have a spam folder in that Messenger? You didn't know. You
Things
knew.
can get lost in there. I can tell you.
Can't they just? You are doing the nod. You are doing the nod of the wise man. There you are. You are like, yes.
Just check your spam. Yeah.
Yes, Matt. Check your spam. So Ronnie sat in my spam folder for 12 months before I got round to looking at it. I was just fiddling around in Facebook.
Oh my word.
Yeah, for a year. And I messaged her straight away. I said, Ronnie, I'm so sorry. You've answered this thing. It was a lovely message because she was like, oh, I organize gigs. I organize musicians. And she sat there for 12 months and I felt so incredibly rude. So I rang her up and then we haven't looked back since. I know you've had Ronnie on the show, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was. Yes. She's very good to me. She's such a good girl.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart.
Good stuff.
So, cool. Back, it took courage, man, to say, I'm not going to do this with the books and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I want to follow my own dream in my heart with my music.
Yeah.
That took courage.
Really,
what did you think? I think you was going to make money, because it's like my uncle told me when I was like 15. He said, man, you really like this music, man. I mean, just remember today, it's feathers today and chicken today and feathers tomorrow.
Yeah. This is it, man. I mean, I'm talking to Skyler. It's not every day I get to speak to a living legend, and it's an absolute pleasure to meet you. Yeah, I'm speaking about musical purpose to a man who has a podcast called Music for Global Change. I mean, like, I know that you are in this for the same reasons, for the right reasons. I mean, I personally believe that music will absolutely change the world. I've given my life to music. And like when I sort of had this like comfortable job, I had my degree, I had a comfortable job, and I just wasn't happy. You know, I was
Mm.
waking up every day. I mean, you sit down in front of your cubicle, and I don't know if anybody's had like a what we call a proper job, but your cubicle is this big, and you've got
Mm.
a guy that sits you and a guy that sits there, and you know the phone's gonna ring 50 times a day, and all you are thinking about is, oh God, I need to get out of here. I need to be playing some music. You know, I need to be doing this. And I always remember this feeling of like, you know, saying to my boss, look, this isn't for me. Thank you very much. There's a little bit more to that because, which I won't tell you about, but I ended up leaving. And as I'm walking back to the car, I remember feeling, I remember with every step I was taking, I was leaving the office and I felt very heavy in my soul, in my heart. And with every single step that I took, I felt like I got a little bit lighter. And when I got in that car and I started the engine, I felt all of that weight off my shoulders. I didn't know where my money was coming from. So the thing in music is what happened with me. I noticed that I was doing like 5 days in a state agency software using the law degree, and then I was playing my dream life on like this Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I was doing like what I call flipping the ratios. So you do a couple of gigs on the weekend, and then you realize all of a sudden you only need to do like 4 days in the office, then you're doing three, then you do two, then one, and all of a sudden you're away. You basically you take that jump. And I always said to myself, look, if I need to go back and I need to use the degree to make like some office money, I'll do it. But
Mm.
like, thank God, let me find some wood. Touch wood. We don't have to do it. Like, it's somehow
Yeah.
I've fallen through the right gaps in the universe, and I've ended up in the right place, and somehow just managing to make money with music. And I consider myself the luckiest man in the world. I really, really do.
Mm.
How much do you love music?
It's my life. It's my life. I mean, it's people have said to me, "Oh, hey Matt, are you ever going to like settle down? Are you going to want to sort of chill out?" Because bearing in mind, when you come from a background like me, I studied law. Um, I'm from Swansea. A lot of my friends now are like partners in big companies, and they ask me things like, "Oh, are you going to settle down?" And what does settle down mean? Does that mean that like I'm gonna get my pipe and slippers and I'm gonna watch TV tonight? I'm not gonna get out to a club. Somebody told me the definition of a musician is a man that puts £5,000 of equipment into a £500 car to drive 1,000 miles to make $200, right?
That's
That's what a musician is, right?
Isn't it exciting? It's exciting, man.
Yeah, it is. It's exciting. You never know where you're going. You've got
Mm.
to walk up. You've got to think on your feet. With me, with what I do, I always go out on my own when I'm in the UK. I'm a solo musician, so I've got to get used to doing all the different jobs. Like I've got to do all the weightlifting, got to carry all the stuff in. I've got to turn up. I've got to be an electrician, set it all up. I've got to be my own security because you don't know what's going to happen. And then I try, I tell jokes, but the way that I tell the jokes is that I charge for the music and then I throw the comedy in free so you can't complain. Right. And then I
Yeah.
pack it all up and I go home. Right. So it's nice and easy,
Yeah.
it's we keep it chill. And then when I'm working abroad, I'm normally in the last band was a 7 piece. I was one guy in a 7 piece, been 5 pieces before. But like any involvement in music is just fantastic. Like yourself, Skyler, you've done some incredible things, man. We actually like I know that you were on the track with Celine. I mean, that's like a legendary, literally like that. I do not use that word lightly. What was that like?
Amazing, brother. I mean, it's the highest grossing theme song for a
Yeah.
film of all time.
Well, I
To be
mean,
on that,
yeah,
that's amazing right there, right? And
yeah.
I've been very, very lucky with my career, and hopefully it's not over. So I just keep
I know
I, I just did a tune with Jethro Sheeran.
Jethro's a
Right?
good friend, mate. He's a good guy.
Yeah. And we got a duet coming out pretty soon. I'm just having fun. I'm still having fun. I've been doing this 59 years, and I'm not going to change. I can't go do anything else because I don't have any experience.
Exactly. I can't do anything after this. I can't. I've got like, I tried to get what they call a proper job, and it just didn't work. I think the only thing I could be now is maybe like an Uber driver or something. I'd be good at that. Because I've worked out that if somebody gets in, I could just sing them songs. So it's
Yeah.
just straight back into music through the back door. It's who we are, man. It's who we are. We're not getting away from this. And long may it continue. It's a beautiful world, isn't it?
Mm.
Oh yeah. Tom?
I just want to talk a little bit about your work with Help for Heroes and the Veteran Support
Yeah.
Association. How did that come about, and what sort of thing? Obviously, I know you've done the song that they've taken on as a kind of official song for you, but how did that come about initially that you got involved with them?
Yeah, well, I better make the distinction. There's two different groups. There's Help for Heroes. I help them with songwriting, and the VSA, the Veteran Support Association. John Joyce and the boys over there.
Mm.
They're a slightly different group, and they liked my song "Still Worth Fighting For," so I re-recorded that with them.
Yeah.
But we went over to Ronnie told me one day. Hey Matt, are you up for helping out the soldiers? And I really am. I really am. I honestly, I don't need to get involved with any of the political side of it. I just see these as human beings that are making sacrifices. That's what I don't need to know the politics. I just have human compassion for somebody that can do something like that. And so I ended up. Ronnie says, well, I'm thinking, well, I can sing songs. I mean, don't give me a rifle. I can't help. I'm not doing that. I'd be no good. If I break a nail, then we're going to have a problem. So we ended up I took this class with about 30 guys in it. And some of the injuries you can see, they were injured soldiers up in a place called Tidworth, in a place called Tedworth House. And some of the injuries you can see, and some of the injuries you can't see. I knew that all of these guys wanted to be in a songwriting class, and it was an absolute pleasure to be able to do that. There's on my Spotify there's a track called "Broken Pieces" that we all wrote together, and it's special to me because what I did was I asked each man to pitch me a line, and we worked with the line, and we made it fit into into the song. We used some. I was there with a guitar. A couple of the other guys could play, and we came up with a song, and it meant a lot to me, and it meant a lot to them. And the name that they came up with, and I will stress this incredibly, I did not come up with this name. I said, right, I'm going to put this down on my Spotify as Matt Cook featuring. What do you guys want to be called? And they said the Insanists. Right now, that was that was up to them.
Yeah.
So please direct your complaints that way. They were a good bunch of guys. Really, really loved them.
Yeah.
And that was a little while back. And then with the VSA, my man John Joyce, it's this club of soldiers of advancing years. I would never call these guys old because they run circles around me. It's an excellent bunch of guys. And Ronnie says to me one day, Matt, I like this song Still Worth Fighting For. They're looking for a tune. And I was like, yeah, I explained to her what it was about. And that's on my Spotify. It's on my YouTube. You can check that out. And we recorded it in with John Bucket, a producer. And we ended up with the track. I'm very, very proud of it. And it's the official song of the VSA. And that makes me very, very proud indeed. Every November, Remembrance Day, we make sure we mention that because those guys are very important. And I've listened to some of Skyler's music today, songs that he wrote for soldiers. I couldn't have been more impressed.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm trying to get it to the veterans as well because
Yeah,
it's just a thank you like you did. You know what I mean to them.
of course. It's
Yeah.
lovely to have that kind of thing that you're able to do, because like people always say to me, oh, hey Matt, can you help put up can you help put up a shelf or something? I'm like, well, I'm a musician. I can't help with the shelf, but I can write a nice song about how the shelf might feel. So if anybody can really, if anybody wants my, I'm not good at I'm not good at moving fridges, but I can tune your guitar. You know what I mean? I'm that kind of guy. I have skills. I have certain skills, but we make the most. We make the most of what God gives us, don't we?
What do you think about social conscious lyrical content?
I will sort of write and feel whatever is in my heart at the moment. I know that a song can change the world. I know it can, but I wouldn't ever want to. I wouldn't want to ever be overtly political in that way because there's so many pitfalls out there these days. There's so many different things that you could write about, and I just personally think that you can never really go wrong if you're writing music from the heart, from a place of love or from a place of despair or just something that you're feeling on the inside, something that you're actually feeling. I'm very comfortable to sort of speak up about things like that. But we're in a complicated world in 2025, aren't we? And I prefer to just I like to keep the music musical, and just
Yeah,
enjoy what I enjoy. And it always comes back to the same, to that same thing, is if you can make a song that makes me feel what you felt when you wrote that song, then I am down. I'll listen to that all day.
Mm.
we write positive lyrical content
Yeah.
because we're giving bad news some competition,
Yeah.
right? So it's not so much about just social conscious music about political or anything like that. We're writing some songs that heal, educate, and solve problems, right?
Oh, beautiful.
So we could talk about things that can heal us, and like you say, you like to put comedy in your stuff, right? I
Yeah,
mean, making people feel better is a beautiful thing.
that's it. That's what it's all about. I work cruises, and I genuinely feel like if you ever get up on that stage and you feel like, oh, I'm not really feeling it today. I'm just going to kind of phone this one in. I'm going to give like 5 out of 10 effort. If you ever get to that point, I think it's time to get out of the game. I think you owe it to yourself, but more importantly, you owe it to those people that have come to see you. Now, if I'm going to stand up in front of
That's
people and I'm going to actually, if I've learned that music, if I've learned it and I feel it, people tell a lot of jokes about cruise bands, and they're expected to be a certain way. But I can tell you this: the quality of musicianship of a band that spends 6 months together at sea with a repertoire of 220 songs,
Mm.
that the quality of those
yeah.
players. Absolutely, like, I can put my hand on my heart and say the best players I've played with have been in cruise bands, and I consider myself very lucky to have spent time with some of those guys. If you get up
Mhm.
on that stage and you've got like 6 other guys or 4 other guys and they're relying on you to deliver that vocal, then you are going to deliver that. You're going to take it and you're going to like launch it to the back of the room. You're going to kick down the doors and just give it your best. Because if you feel like you're holding anything back, or, oh, I'm tired tonight. Well, if you're tired, you do it anyway, because those people are there. There might be
Yeah.
100, 200, 300 people, and they might get like one break a year. They might get one, or if it's a gig on dry land, they might get
Yeah.
one night off a week, and they've given it to you. And I think it's important to really just fire that energy back and to have fun with people. You never be boring. You never want to be boring. You always want to keep them guessing.
Mm.
That's right. Tom?
But off the back of that, I just want to know just how people can get hold of what it is you do. I mean, is there any kind of social media content that you
Yes,
have,
please.
or
Yeah,
website information?
yeah. Well, when your name is Matt Cook, like me, that's a pretty common name. If you
Yeah.
try and Google Matt Cook, you will find a bunch of different Matt Cooks. There's a few musicians. Look at this. There's right. Anybody watching this? Look at these guys laughing. They know what we're talking about here. You Googled me and you found. Did you find Matt Cook, the keyboard player? Yeah, you found him. Humboldt County pianist. Shout out to that guy. There's a Matt Cook photographer. There is now a new guy called Matt Cook, the Hollywood director, and he is getting all of my traffic. He gets absolutely everything. On the plus point, a week ago, I am directing a new Star Wars movie though, so that is
Oh,
pretty nice because they came in and they. But I might have to own up. I'm not the right one. Right. Just in case lawyers are watching, that is not true. That was a joke. So what I decided to do, my website from years ago is called thatguywesawlastnight.com. Right. So you watch this tonight and you'll go, who was that
Okay.
guy we saw last night? And then you put that in and it's right there. And whatever I'm working on at the moment, I make sure I've got on that page there. So there'll
okay.
be a few links. You can see the new show I'm working on. You can see there's a couple of shows. There's my phone number. So if you want to use that, please use it responsibly. There's lots of stuff on there. So yeah, that guy we saw last night. And then I link into my Spotify. So if you want to check out my stuff, that's the best place to do it.
All right. Well, what we'll do anyway, Matt, is going to put the links to those sites down on the description of the video as well here, so people can go off and click them
Oh,
from here
fabulous. That's great
and
stuff.
check it all out for you.
That's great stuff.
Thank you for the privilege of your time, my brother.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much, guys.
Right on, brother.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for
joining us.
coming on,
Thank you.
brother.
Cheers.
Thank you
Okay.
so much, gentlemen. What
Much
a
love.
pleasure. What a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Music can
Thank you so much for watching. To stay up to date, please click subscribe and hit the bell. You can also join our group on Facebook and find us on LinkedIn and Instagram.